This is episode 1 of Training with Tic Toc or Training with T. Today, we're going to work on getting her more responsive to my body, working through some breath work, and then also we're going to be working on just in general making her more confident in the arena. So we're going to start with doing some transitional work where she's working off of my body movements on the ground. And then I'm going to set up some blocks, and we're going to work on making her more enthusiastic about running to and from the blocks, because right now while riding we're having an issue where she doesn't really want to move forward when she feels any connection, and she's kind of hesitant in the walk. And so some of that comes from a behavioral issue that she had from when she was ridden before I got her. What do you see? That's you. So we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna just try to make it more fun. We've been trying to really build up these skills from the ground and just create more rhythm and relaxation and just more balance for her so that we can translate that into riding. So far we've been able to be really successful in a lot of these endeavors. So I'm just hoping to use this as like an accountability for myself for working through training with her and trying different training techniques, as well as just like sharing the journey with other people in case, you're a fellow adult amateur trying to go through working with a horse and learning along the way. Hopefully we can learn together. And yeah, so we'll get started. To start, today I'm working with a halter from the horse education company, and this halter is great because it mixes like a rope halter and a leather halter, which I like the leather halters, but I recognize the training advantages of having the rope halter and just creating a little bit more sensitivity in her responses. So that's what this is. Working with just a regular lead rope, and then just a dressage crop just to kind of help reinforce movements, and just serve as like an extension of my arm for movements that we're doing on the ground. Oh, and then also I have a package here full of treats. Key is to have a bunch of different kinds of treats. So I have a bunch of different varieties of all like high value food rewards that I know she likes. Hey, baby. And so we'll be using those to help kind of reinforce different movements. Thing I didn't mention in the beginning is I've also employed the use of a clicker. So here's my clicker. I've put this in my glove. This helps me to be able to quickly and easily click. So it's right here in my glove, and I just stitch it in. That way, whenever she does something good, I can reward her, and it's easier for me to do. So anyways, we'll get started. We'll do some basic breath work. So what I'm starting here with right now is I've been teaching her to move. Come here. Come on. I know. Come on. I've been teaching her to move herself off of my breath as a way to signal to her that a transition is coming, because before she really was just like not able to anticipate transitions from me as well. And I found that by connecting my breath to my seat, it's been really helpful in just giving her that heads up so that when I ask for the transition, it's not a big shock to her. So I reinforced that from the ground, and I learned that from my really good friend, Christy. She's been really monumental in like my learning and trying to get Tic Toc trained in a way that just helps her move in a better and more relaxed way. So I've been really grateful for that friendship and that mentorship from her. But yeah, so to get started, what I'll start with is just some general relaxation with her. So right now you can tell like her neck is very relaxed. It's a little bit hard to see in the frame, but like she's pretty relaxed. She's not really stressed out here in the arena. So we're good here. So what we're going to probably start with is I'll take a deep breath in and let release. And when I do, we'll walk forward. And then when I take a deep breath in and release, that will signal a stop. Hopefully from the headphones, you'll be able to hear the breaths and really be able to connect the two, but you'll be able to see it in my body movement as we move through the work. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, ready? Yes, good girl. Okay, so not as quick as I would have liked her to be. She's pretty focused on my bag. So we're not necessarily going to reward that one, although it was not a bad effort. But I want to make sure that when I'm clicking and rewarding, I'm rewarding for a pretty solid, consistent effort. And like making sure I'm rewarding when they're really, really good so that she learns to be a little bit snappier. So we'll try again. Good job. That was really good. Hopefully, click. Good girl. That was really nice. That was a lot snappier than before. So we're going to go ahead and reward that. Yes, good girl. So this is just a really good way to get her like in tune with what I'm doing and in tune with my body language. I've seen myself be able to really translate this into the saddle, like I said before, and that's been really helpful for her in particular. Good girl. So every time I give her a treat, I'm kind of switching it up. I'm giving her a little bit of different treats each time, just so that she like remains excited about the options, and doesn't start to blow me off because she knows exactly what she's getting and it's not as exciting. I also just like obviously can't give her high value retreats or high value treats for every single time she does a movement, because for her the highest value treat is a peppermint. And at a later time I will tell you my funny story about peppermints and Tic Toc when I first got her. But as you might know, as a fellow horse owner, you cannot give a horse a ton of peppermints. It's not very good for their systems. They obviously can have a few, but nope, not as snappy as I would have liked it. It's not super great for their system. Sugar in the belly can cause ulcers and some other symptoms. So we try to save those for the times when it's the most beneficial. Good girl. Good. Two. 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 Goodness. Two. Unfortunately, I'm also kind of allergic to horses. I should have picked a better sport, but unfortunately, this is what I was the most obsessed with. So we progress. Good girl. Two. Okay. And so this can be transit. This doesn't just have to necessarily only work for the walk. You know, I can start to move this into a trot. Hey, she was getting a bit near my treat bag. So move her nose away. Trust me, she's not hurt. But yeah, I can use this for the trot. So, you know, if I wanted to signal to her that we're going to start trotting, I would go. And then she trots with me. And then I can go. Good girl. Very good girl. For this next bit of activity, what we're going to do is I'm going to practice yielding her hind and her front end. What I'll be doing is I'll be using the crop to help do this. But essentially what I want her to do is to move her hind end away from me or move her front end away from me. This can be really helpful for just like awareness of where their body parts are. I've used this in a lot of different trainings. Like I've used this when I've tried to work on trailer loading with her. Just ways to like bring consciousness back to different parts of her body. And I also think it's been really helpful for lunging, especially like we've done a lot of lunging at Liberty. And I would say it's been really helpful for like getting her to move away or to come back towards me in the lunge. So we'll see that here, and I'll show you how to do it on the lead rope, and then eventually you can see how it transfers to the lunge line. So ready? Come on. Come on. So what I'll do is I'll have her halt, and then I'm going to come to this side, and I'm going to have her yield the hind. So how I'll start it is I'm going to give some line, and I'm going to go And I'm just gonna have this pointed. And right here, yep, right here. Yes, good girl. So what I want her to do is what she just did, which was step away from me. And so yeah, I'll do that on this side, and notice that I'm not hitting her or touching her necessarily with the whip. If she's not responsive or doesn't understand it, obviously you can touch them and slightly use the whip as an extension of your arm. But you kind of think about it as like almost sending your energy to that hind area. This was something that my mentor Christy had told me a lot about, and it's like I said, it's been really influential to what I do. So ready? We'll do this side. Thank you. Good girl. Good job. Yes. Good girl. So we got really good control of those hind ends. As far as the front, so what I'll do is I'll have the neck rope go kind of over her neck. I'll have her stand right here. Good. And then what I want to see in this movement is I want to see this leg, if I'm asking her to move this way, I want to see this leg cross over this one to step away from me. So what I'll do is I'll go, come on, come on. Nope. So that's incorrect what she just did. That's a good thing that she did it though, so you can see. So I want her moving forward, not stepping backwards. Yes. Yes. Good girl. So the way she moved away from me is what I'm looking for. I don't want her stepping away and backing away. I just want her kind of moving her body away to give me my space and to kind of respect that area. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. On to the next. Uh-oh, there's a horsefly. Did you get it? Oh, there it is. Uh-oh. Okay. I think it's gone. Good girl. All right, so she's going to move this way. And then, or that was my bad. I shouldn't be clicking. Come on. Yes, good girl. Hopefully this gets better over time. It's very hard to do, to remember that you're recording, but I'm trying to do this for accountability to see what these sessions really look like for myself, to make sure I'm consistent. And it's hard to be consistent, but it's important for us to make sure we're communicating to them clearly since we can't communicate with our words as much. Hey, baby. Okay, so you saw we're really good at yielding, or really good's maybe a bit much, but we're decent at yielding our hind and our front ends. We can yield kind of both sides, so she's comfortable moving away from me. And so for now, that's kind of concludes the like initial warm up of what we'll do. And now what I'm going to do is practice setting up those cones and teaching her to be looking forward to moving to those cones. The thought behind that is that if she's looking forward to moving to each of those different points, that she will start to anticipate moving forward. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set the cones up. I'm going to set up two. I'm going to set up one on one end of the arena and one on the other. So I'm going to have her move, and as she gets closer to that point, I'm going to use the marker, the clicker, to reward her for those treats. And then I myself am going to go to the other end of the arena, and we're just going to walk back and forth for a while, clicking and doing treats. And then at some point, we'll start to kind of do it at a little bit of a faster pace, but I want to really build strength in that walk with her. Hi. And then after that, I'm going to add in two more. So then I'm going to have like a square, and I'll have one at each point of the square, and we'll be moving from point to point. And she'll learn that every time she moves to a new marker point, she gets that treat. And then eventually I'm going to expand the square. And the idea would be to then eventually have the square replicate the four corners of the arena so that she learns that moving to each point of the arena, whether it is laterally or diagonally, that it ends up resulting in a treat. And so hopefully that just reassociates arena work for her away from like whatever her association was before, to just being more enthusiastic about walking to the different points and realizing that like we're having fun in here. So yeah, that's what we're gonna start it with moving from block to block. Come on. Yes, good girl. So the second we hit that block, Yes, reward. We're going with half carrots right now because we're gonna run out of carrots. Yeah, so forward is the right answer, but not encroaching on my space. Good girl. Good girl. Not encroaching on my space. Good girl. And again, just switching up the treats. And you'll see that as I'm walking with her, I am letting her kind of move forward because that is the goal of what I want. But when I'm holding up my whip, obviously I'm not going to hit her in the face with it. That would be insane. But it's just more so to like provide another bound. Obviously she doesn't see it as a bound, but provide a bound of like where my space is. So I'm trying to push her and yield that front end as we keep walking to keep her kind of stepping away because I obviously don't want her to run over me. But you can see how we're kind of pulling all the pieces together. So like right here, we would want to yield the hind. Yes, good girl. And then we use the breath work here to move her. Yep, and I'm glad she's excited about this, but I don't want her too close. Good girl. So yep, every time we go to this point, we're getting a reward. And we're really having fun because the rewards keep coming and she's kind of a chunky monkey. Ready? So we're gonna yield again. Yes, good girl. All right, let's run. Yeah, that's so fun. Good girl. She is a redheaded mare, and you did see those little ears. That was not for me. That was for my lovely little Dobie right there, Rye. Rye will probably be featured as we continue these videos, but Tic Toc doesn't not like Rye, but she's not really a dog horse. I don't know. So, and Rye's a everything dog, so she's never really learned like a social norm in her life and has no idea that the horse isn't really a fan. Come on. We'll tap because she's not listening. Yep. Good job. All right. Good girl. So we've now completed the exercise with two blocks. So now I'm going to add in two additional blocks. So now we're going to have four. And they're now in the shape of a square / triangle. We've got them kind of tight together because I want to create the game while they're small and then eventually start to translate that out to being larger so that it ends up being the 4 points of the arena. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Come on, team. Drop the peppermint. Good girl. All right, well, I already have the peppermint in my hand, so we're going to go ahead and reward it. Yeah. Wow, that's your favorite, huh? Okay, give her a sec to chew. Good girl. And I like that she's very relaxed in this. This is very much a game. This is helping with her curiosity. Obviously, this is not extremely hard. This is enjoyable, and it's still getting to where we're trying to go. So it's a good game to play. So that was my indication to her that we're moving forward. Good job. Whoop. Not too fast. Good girl. Good job. Yes. Here you go. Girl. Ready? Good girl. Yeah. All right. Come on. Do the next one. Good girl. There you go. That one's already a half. It's already broken. Alrighty. Good girl. She's starting to figure it out. Trying to pick up the game. Up the treats. Ready? Oh, we're excited. As long as you're excited forward. Good girl. Good job. Hi, I'm proud of you. Good job. Ready? Good girl. Good girl. Ready? Let's go diagonal this time. Good girl. So I'm gonna already anticipate. Yep, good girl. Very well. And we're gonna try a diagonal again. Since they're running ahead, I want her to control walk for this. Good girl. Yes. The key here is keeping her walk controlled because this is intended to build her walk. So obviously I don't want to be letting her run through it because then I'm not really accomplishing kind of what we're set out here to do. So I want you to move. Nope, the answer is forward. Nope. Nope. That's not the direction I would like you to go. Come on. Let's go. Thank you. Yes. Good girl. But I don't want you running ahead. Good. Good girl. So I want you to move forward and around. Come on. Move away. Yes. Step around the block. Yes, ma'am. And to the next. Good girl. And tweets. Lots of tweets. Good girl. So I kind of like what I've been doing here of like stepping away. Hey. Nope. Wrong direction. Come on. Forward. Yielding that hind. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. What I was saying, too far, is I like the idea of her moving around the block a little bit, just to kind of also build in that like yielding of the front, yielding of the hind, moving her forward. Come on. T. Come on. Oh, sorry. There you go. Not too fast, but positive momentum. Okay, now we've spent T. Come on, nice ears. Now we've spent time doing it on a smaller square, so now we're going to bump it out and make it a little bit bigger and just kind of start to reinforce the movement again at just more distance between each point. So good. Come on. Energy. Yep. Good girl. Ready? Yeah. Good adventuring. All right. Ready? Good girl. Good girl. Jeez, it's hot out here. Ready? Come on. More movement. Good girl. All right. Thank you. That was good movement, but a little bit too much. That's good. Good girl. There you go. Oh, carrots. All right, you ready? Let's complete the rectangle. Good girl. All right. Let's move forward. Good girl. Yeah, that's very nice. Good. Now let's go this way to this one. There you go. Good girl. Yeah, this is good, T. She's so excited to get to the next one. That's what we want. That's the kind of progress we're creating this excitement for her so that she will enjoy being in here. Got my face. Too much. Over. Yes. Good girl. You're good. I'm very proud of you, T. You're so smart. You're such a smart girl. Yeah. All right, let's try diagonal. Not too much. Good girl. Yes, good girl. To this diagonal. Yes, good. Go walk. Yep. Good girl. Oh, we're running out of treats. Oh no. It's okay. We've been going for about 20 minutes. That's probably what we need. Yeah. Come on. I know the neighbors are so exciting. Come on. Good girl. All right. And we're done. So I think that was good for today. I think the key takeaways were she's starting to really understand kind of what we're starting to build here. I noticed that from the beginning, she was kind of, kind of lollygagging her way towards each of the different points. And then it seemed like towards the end, she started to really like pick herself up and kind of get excited to move to each point, which is exactly what I'm going for. Something I think I should have done in the beginning that I will definitely do for my warm up next time is doing more of her being tuned into my body as to my speed as well. So when we were doing the walk to halt on the breath work, that was great and that really got her like in tune with where I was going. But I think the next big thing to be really focused on that I noticed would have probably been pretty helpful as we were moving from point to point is her walking at the speed that I'm going. So we kind of did it when we were starting to move into trot, but not as much as I would have maybe benefited from. So what I would like to do next time is work in the warm up on, me walking really slow and her kind of walking slow with me. And then as I pick up my pace and my body language signals to her that, we're moving, hey, stay over here, signals to her that we're moving forward, that she starts to pick herself up and like she kind of matches my energy. I feel like that's what all of us women really want is someone to match our energy. I just didn't know it'd be a horse. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to be focused on next time, as well as continuing to build on the 4 points that we've been building today. And yeah, I mean, progress takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of time to build what we're building. So we're just going to continue to work on this for a little while. And then eventually I'd like to translate it to the saddle, but one day at a time. So yeah, this was Training with T or Training with Tic Toc. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye.